So here we go. We have this one. Now, obviously, this alien is one of a. Well, it's okay. Full on. Yes, I know this is Speedster Alien. I didn't want to do this alien because I already did Accelerate. But I was like, hey, if I confuse it with somebody, then yeah, okay, I'll do it then. So because of that, and because I this seemed like a very good idea. I was like, okay, let's do it. So here we go. We have X. We have I forget the name of the speedster Blue Hero one, but we do have Overkill. This guy has the power to turn invisible and has a needle on his tail, and obviously the other one has super speed. So what do you get when you combine these together? Well, other than their abilities, the one I'm adding to them has to do with the fur. First of all, most of the suit is made by the fur, including from the arms itself. So I am making this person have a more of a transformation thing where he transforms into this. But also that means that he gets red and blue lightning coming off of his fur. This makes it to do a lot of stuff like impact explosions and also shoot his fur as needles at people. Also, I'm giving him the power to do like electric sense, fur sense, what makes him able to sense danger around him. Obviously, this one can actually shoot the same type of fur needles from his tail. Also, with the power of this Overkill having to turn invisible, I actually want to do something with the 3 colors motif. So I actually put that into the visor for the ability to actually control people's movements. If you guys don't know, there's things like stop signs and stuff. So red means stop, green means go. And actually, hold up. 1 second. I am back. I just did a Google search. And I did not know this, but apparently a blue traffic light, and this is something that actually does exist. It basically indicates for the cops that someone just ran a red light. But we don't have that here in Minnesota, what I find would be incredibly useful. Um, so with that being told to me now, I know what to do for blue. Blue basically is like, I'm going to use blue is able to detect other, like basically able to follow like it's like it's kind of like a reverb of of an energy wave. Basically helps him track other people who have credible super speed as well. So anything that's moving at a high speed, he's able to track and follow. That's literally something new just because I just did a Google search. That's actually pretty interesting. I didn't know that. And then we have the Ben 10 alien, who I'm calling Monster Block. I know I forget to do the names for this. The other guy, I'm going to call him. We'll just call him what he is. Well, actually, I don't know what I'm going to name him. I don't know. I'll do it for the YouTube video. So give me just wait for the video to upload, and you'll see. Either way, this is Monster Block. Now, obviously, I didn't want to do this one because this is kind of basic and he's literally just Legos. So I was like, how can I do this? Well, I have an idea and I have a story. So actually, So I'm saying that there's like a certain convention that is supposed to show the new inventive way to use Legos. Basically, creating a new mechanic for Legos and for it to be shared around the world. Basically, giving someone millions of dollars because of that. Now, he had this guy who I'm calling him Samuel. There we go. I was trying to think of a name I haven't used yet. So Samuel. Samuel had a credible idea to be able to build Legos, but with your mind. Able to actually like collectively make what you're imagining in your head, and the Lego bricks would make that happen. So, with that being said, he built it and it worked perfectly. Have to wear a little tiara on your head, but still, yes, I am technically like the one from Big Hero 6. But there was a big giant problem. They were going to steal his project, so he tried to fight for it. And that when the energy wave happened, he fell into the giant batch of Legos that were already making. That was with his Lego bricks, and and the tiara being fused with both. His body was no more, and he was the Lego bricks. He can control other Legos, but also his other thing is that. Okay, there's the burp. But his other thing that he can do is basically he can still create things, build stuff, and also morph the Legos to make anything he wants. And now all he is wanting revenge on the company that was trying to steal his glory and not give him a dime. And also still want revenge because now he's a monster. This is a redraw one here. So this is actually a superhero who I've shown in the past, one time only. His name was Graviton. Graviton is actually one of my favorite powers I utilize, and also he was based off of this character. Well, his powers and stuff. So this is more of the adult version of Graviton in the hero team I have in my universe called the New Heroes. It's basically a group of team who are young group of heroes who are learning to use their powers. So now he's learned that he doesn't really need to turn himself into a ball, and that his powers allow him to do that regardless. But also he can manipulate gravity on other objects too, moving them around and throwing them at people. Even making stuff like gravity barriers and force fields. And also it allows him to fly. Now the only thing is that with me adding this ability, of course, from these gravity powers, I'm also giving him the power to generate black holes. If you guys don't know, black holes are probably one of the coolest things that are in space right now, and that are also incredibly dangerous. So I figured him able to shoot black holes around and throw them and create them would be pretty cool. Also, he can use that thing around his chest to shoot a giant black hole beam at people. So yeah, honestly, he is pretty cool. I like it. Last, surely not least, Grasshopper. I'm not time for this one. So, Grasshopper is a very simple, very easily basic power. He's a grasshopper, and he hops. So you gotta think, what can you do? Well, one, I'm actually giving this person the power of hop electricity. Basically, the more she hops, the more she can bounce and have electricity in her. So basically, she bounces, and basically she slowly becomes electricity. Well, she looks like it, because she's moving faster and hopping a lot more. And that means that she's actually able to kick people with electricity force. Then she's also able to throw it by kicking her legs. If she kicks her legs, she can make stuff like saucer blades, or even use her hands and control it to go into her palms to throw it, or even do a giant blast. And also, the only thing that transforms in her body is her legs, because I do want her to have like a human motif, but then she transforms her legs into the grasshopper abilities.
So this is what I really want to talk about. So yes, I don't know the name of this alien. I know that's a lot for these, but you guys gotta know how much I love Ben 10 aliens. I do not have good memory enough to say I can remember every single Ben 10 alien name, but I can remember their abilities. Now, if you guys don't know, the reason why I have two of these aliens is because they're actually the same alien. It seems like they took the original drawing that's on the left side, the one that looks really creepy and alien-like, and turned into that thing. Now, if I'm going to be honest, I like the original version better, but I just wanted to show this. So, what I know about this alien, okay? He gets hit, he multiplies. And the harder he gets hit, the harder he multiplies. The more he multiplies. So I think it's like it's basically damage over, like, if damage had a number, that's how many clones that come out, or at least the length or the level. So what do you do with this guy who bounces around and basically is like a moving ping pong machine? Well, now I did give this, so basically I can't take any abilities, so that is this girl's ability, and she is one of the people who were so there's a group of people who were being experimented in an evil / being reformed company called X Corp. And X Corp had a lot of shady things they were doing, including kidnapping people. And so they were basically forcing her to use her powers for their will and forcing her to train. So she knows a lot of her powers. And she now hates society because of it. So, other than her complete green skin, she cannot take any damage, and she absorbs the damage, allowing her to choose how many clones she wants depending on how much damage she takes, and she can just keep it going on and on and on, using it to build up her strength or speed or whatever, or using it to build up her cloning abilities. Now, the other thing she can do is rip off a piece of her skin to turn into a bouncing ball. That basically, the more they bounce, the more faster and stronger they get, and only she can control and wield them. I'm also giving her the ability is when she has multiple of these things floating around her at the same time, is that it kind of acts like a disgusting thing to say, meat flesh sensory, where her flesh is able to basically is like sensing something that's in the border or coming close to it, and so she can sense it, and it alerts her that there's something in this general direction. If they're in this giant bouncing ball area that is just a bunch of them just bouncing around, then she can see wherever they are without even looking at them. So yeah, I'm naming this person Bounce Strike. And her civilian name will be Kimberly, because I don't think I've used that name yet. Okay, we have this one. By the way, I'm just going in a row of how I have the pictures, so... This alien, again, I don't know. A lot of these aliens I'm not going to know, so please, again, bear with me. But I do know this guy's ability. Basically, he's able to open up his face thing, and basically you see your very much terrifying worst fear. It was supposed to be like a reference to the same scene when Ghost Freak opened his chest up and scared the clown into having white hair and running away. What I do kind of miss the clown. I kind of wish where he is. I kind of, because he was kind of one of my favorite villains. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but we're not gonna talk about that. So what do you do with a guy who has a face of fear? Well, obviously I want to give these weird nipple spear things he has on his arm some meaning. So in other words, this guy has completely green body, but also his body can act like vines, growing and growing as he controls them. Now, other than him opening the canister, what again, this is an ability that he has, so I can't really remove it. He also does it by looking into his eyes. Or he could do something what I'm going to call fear glow, where he makes a giant ball of light around him that anyone who looks at will see their fears, and then as soon as they see it, it will actually come to life, coming out of the green light to hunt them down, being slashed like a phantom illusion thing that can only hurt them because they think they're actually going to die or something. So yeah, and only he can turn it off. Obviously a villain, this is one of the people who gets, again, I'm doing the giant line of this will be people who are being kidnapped by X Corp. Not all of it, but some. Now, I'm not using this guy for X Corp because I already got like two to kind of like talk about that story a little bit. But this one is kind of weird to talk about, and it's more because of this creature's ability. This creature's ability is that he's a fish that has legs, and that's it. That's his entire ability. And I'm like, what do you do with the guy who's fish, but he has legs? So, I made a Atlantean. I can use them, so I will use it. And this is a little bit different. So this guy is more of an Atlantean who, again, using the same thing. They are not allowed to meet the people on land, but he does anyways. That gets him forbidden to come back home. So that's his origin story. And I may go back just to say their names because I just realized I didn't do names again. What pisses me off, I kind of want to do that. I'm giving him the power to manipulate water just because he's supposed to be a fish, and the only thing I could think about is just manipulating water. So he can make water to make hard on constructs. Now, we're going to probably go back. So, I'm going to name this one Fish Lair. There we go, Fish Lair. And this is my wife in my universe. No, I'm not actually married in real life. I kind of do wish I could. I kind of wish I could get married or all that stuff. A video maybe for the future, who knows. Either way, Crimson Thunder version of me, okay, in my universe, marries the Fairy Queen, and it's a whole giant story. Maybe a story I will get to later. So this alien has the power to go into your dreams and manipulate it and control it. So I was like, okay, what do I do for this? Oh, I know. Make it able to consume dreams and instantly flip things to nightmares to good, or good to nightmares. Also to I'm giving her the power to turn to pull people into a dream reality as well, just because of that, and also to be able to use dream fairy dust to make dream constructs. There we go. Also, I'm going to make it that every fairy has a different power that's really glamorous and beautiful or whatever, but each fairy has a different ability. So yeah. And I think that's it. And so we're going to call this girl, other than the Queen of the Fairies, Glamour Fairy. So, yeah. Also the bearer of my 4 kids.
So you know him. You love him. He's the best Ben 10 alien that came out. He's the coolest alien power that ever seen before. It's Feedback. I love Feedback so much. Okay, so obviously we all know Feedback, but gotta talk about the power system before I go into the other one. First of all, Feedback power is kind of simple. He has these little, basically every single part of his body is collectively just electrical. He can shoot electricity from his, fingers, his tail, and his weird tentacle things he has on his head. But also from the fact of Feedback, he can also absorb energy by any means. So anything that's energy based, he can absorb and utilize. So how do I increase this power by forms of factory here? Well, one, I gave this person the power to manifest and force his little electrical chargers that he has on his tail and on his ears. Those are his ears, by the way. To turn into clamps to clamp down and absorb energy faster. Also, I know he could do an electrical ball, but I am giving him the power to absorb electricity around it and instantly force it into an electrical ball. Also, I'm giving him the power to make lightning constructs. Why? Because I feel like it's cool. Also, again, I'm keeping this guy cool, so I'm giving him all cool abilities with lightning. So, other than giving him the power to make lightning constructs, I am also giving him the power to basically generate lightning on his feet to the point that he can run on air. And if you don't think that's cool, I'm actually giving him the ability to go inside of electricity itself, becoming electricity and going inside of something. But he also has to be at least somewhat close to it for him to do it. And it works after 5 seconds. So basically, he's in there, right? He can stay in there, but after when he pops out, it's 5 seconds before he can do it again. And last but surely not least, with this blast, with this power and everything and all of these universal blasts, I'm also giving him the fact that he can hype up the power. So basically it has different colors for its power. So for all the different colors of lightning, different is how weak or powerful he is making it. If you guys don't know, this is actually something that works in the real world. In the real world, there's lightning is weaker or stronger on the color when lightning strikes. So that's actually really fucking cool. So in other words, he could basically limit his lightning or higher lightning. And I'm also giving him the power to shoot a giant rainbow lightning blast at people. Why? Because I think it's cool. Here's an alien that I kind of just forgot I don't know. But I do know his abilities at least. I just don't remember his name. So, other than him being a bug, his main ability was like using what is, I would assume, is practically a form of his mucus to make a giant rolling ball that he rolls around on his claw fingers. And you guys may be saying, oh, well, is his ability also like rolling on the ball? He has human legs. How does that work? Well, actually, technically, the bottom of this, like the sides of his feet, pops out with claws when he uses his power, and especially when he's moving on something that keeps on moving. So basically, if something has a movable force, the legs will pop out to have a firmer grasp on the ground. So he still can do it. So yeah, but also I'm giving him the power to just generate this all over his body. And because of this is supposed to be just a bouncing bubble here, we have to, this ability I have to give him is really cool. So obviously he can generate off of his hands. He has it in his belt just in case he can't, since in case people won't give him the time to create it. So he has to throw it at people. That's the reason why he also has it on his chest. But also he can do it on his head. Well, basically what it does, it just makes a giant shooting slingshot. So basically it forms in the middle and then it just shoots it out like a slingshot. So yeah. Also, I just realized I didn't say the name for these guys again. Future me is probably going to cut this out, but let me just say this for you guys. First of all, this guy, I'm going to name him Goop Bubble. He can only make bubbles. So, a Goop Bubble is a perfect name for him. This man is a lumberjack. I just actually Google searched that lumberjacks are from Canada, so he's from Canada. Ah! And obviously, this alien, I also forgot his name, but also his power is his mustache. If you guys don't know, his power is that he can wield his mustache to take any shape or form, and it grows exponentially. How do you add another superpower to this? And I was really stumped on this. And so, in giving him also from increase of growth, I'm also technically giving him the power to harden his mustache. For then, hardening it makes it for then, when he hardens it, it hurts a lot more, so it can make like blades and stuff from his mustache. Obviously, I'm going to give him the power muscle stash. Sorry, it took me a while to actually try and say that name correctly. Okay, so after this one, I think I could do at least one more. So, okay. So obviously this is, I think his name is like Kick Chicken or something. Either way, it's a chicken that knows martial arts. His abilities are just, he knows how to kick hard, punch, and he has bladed arms. Well, he has bladed elbows. So, these are the abilities I'm adding to this. One, giving him this guy being part of my human, animal, people universe. He has the ability to turn his feathers into blade feathers, shooting them out as crazy as possible. Also, I'm giving him the ability to cluck like a chicken, but it's very loud, so it breaks everything around it. What do you want? It's a martial art chicken, okay? I can't do much. Also, I'm naming him Martial Chicken, by the way. And now we have this one, the most hated alien in here that I have to use. Well, the most hated in people's abilities. It's a mechanical alien that has shooting grapplers and stuff on his body and a jetpack. Basically, what I'm giving this guy is the power to weaponize his own flesh and to have armor for mechanical energy blast uses or anything else. Basically, energy creation, mechanical flesh. obviously I'm naming him Turtle Glider. Turtle Glider, by the way. Okay, guys, from the looks of it, I have about like 5 of these power systems that I did the thing on the side of it, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do 5. I wanted to do 5 regardless. So you guys don't know, I think this Benton alien is named Bullfrog. Either way, these aliens have a croaking sound, they have a tongue, they have the power to jump like frogs, and they have agility like frogs. So what can I do to increase this frog intensity? And that's giving it slime.
I got news for you, Shadow Man. It's not slime. It's mucus.
Mucus. Either way, this person is actually able, and of course he's part of the animal fusion thing. He's actually able to like morph his slime into and harden it to make batting gloves or even to make something like a spear or a weapon. Well, I think I gave someone a character before, so and other than giving him rainbow slime that he can increase into a weapon, I'm also giving him the power to basically shoot it like a bazooka or a machine gun. And this guy I'm gonna name Muke Frog. There we go, Muke Frog. My favorite character! I'm glad I'm getting to this. It's time for us to do atomics. Yes, Atomics is one of my favorite characters. So he is basically like a nuclear reactor, able to shoot energy blasts, fly, shoot energy pulses, make force fields, make powerful shining lights. How do you increase the intensity of this character? Well, one, I gave this character the power to transform into this form, so basically he's going to transform into it. I made a few characters who have this type of ability, not too much of them, but there's a few that I have done that for. And I'm also giving him the power to do gamma and also energy absorption. He can absorb all gamma and energy to power himself and make himself even more powerful. Another ability that I am giving him is the power to harden gamma energy. Not to make weapons or anything, but he could just make like an entire brick. Also, it's just for then he can harden it around his fist, for then I can say he'd be boxing people. So other than that, I'm also giving him a gamma beam on his chest. So he can shoot a gamma beam right off his chest. Like Iron Man. And this person, we are going to name him... Well, I've been calling him Gamma I've been saying the word Gamma a lot. So you know what? His name's going to be Gamma. After gamma radiation. Gamma. Sounds like you're saying Gamma, like Gamma. Like Gamma. Like you're talking to your grandma. Gamma. But it's gamma, like gamma radiation. Okay, this one's the last of the series. Vampire. Vampire is an interesting Ben 10 alien. I think I've only seen once, at least. So he has the natural traits of a vampire, weakness against sun, can hypnotize people, but he also has the ability where he can shoot these eye bats out of his mouth. Also, he can fly. So, I'm giving her the power to do pre-transformation. If you guys don't know, pre-transformation is what I'm calling the power to stop transformation in between of different forms. There's actually one character in X-Men who was in the New Mutants who has that exact same ability. She turns into a wolf, but she's actually able to stop herself in mid-transformation. And a lot of other people can do that too, but it's just that you need to have a lot of self-control for it. But other than that, this is the queen of the vampires too. So this is the queen. So her name is actually Queen Vampira. I was gonna say Queen Dracula, but Dracula is the king, and why would she share the same name as the king? I will make Dracula 1 point. Just give me time. Either way, Queen Vampira is an elegant red vampire who actually turns into a black and red bat. And also with giving her the power of hypnotism and having claws was also part of this character as well. Ability that I'm giving her and her having able to stop herself and turn into like a female male monster bat situation. I'm also giving her the power to shadow teleport. In bat transformation, mid bat transformation, or if she's a human, is with her cloak. And obviously, all vampires, but apparently for some reason, vampire. But either way, the vampire benten alien doesn't have this ability. She can bite people and turn them into vampires. It's a basic vampire ability. I don't know why he doesn't have it. Okay, so this one and another one is part of a different one that we gotta do now. As you guys know, I do all the new aliens, so I'm not doing any old ones or old animations, whatever. So this one. I don't even know the name of this one, but this guy is so fucking cool, and I heard about his powers. Him able to use his energy to make weaponized constructs. So, in other words, I don't really have to give him weaponized constructs. Was good because I'm actually trying to stay away from that. You guys seen I've done a few characters with construct weapons, a few people with not construct weapons. This one I have no control over it. And it has an energy type body. So I was like, how can I morph this in some way, shape, or form? I was like, what happened if he was able to morph not the energy, but also the armor itself? Morph it and make it expand to the point that he's not just a person with a power, he's a person with a race. In other words, this guy's going to be a race person. He's going to be a person who has able to race people, and he turns into a giant wheel like that one episode in Power Rangers that I can't think about. He can turn himself into a giant wheel and just run people over, or just shoot spikes out of his shoulders, or or turn his arms into whips. He basically has full control over his entire body and can transform it at will. And yeah, basically I'm giving him full shape-shifting transformation. And how much, for some reason, 5YL didn't do this one. How much I wasn't doing all of the ones 5YL did. But either way, apparently 5YL didn't do this Benten alien. But Bashmouth is definitely a new alien, so I really wanted to do it. Bashmouth is he can make metal armor appear on any other part of his body to reflect and also turn his teeth into metal. So what you do? Make a guy who can make a metal spear or make any metal construct weapon and also turn his whole body into metal armor. Obviously, he does this to hunt people, and he's very good at hunting people and tracking them. I'm going to name this guy Fang the Tracker.
Oh, that's a good snap.
And
this is the first alien. I know I show the artwork, but today, again, we're doing things a little bit different, and also I just really wanted to show this paper. Like, I was going to show this regardless. So, yeah, but I just want to show this, because for the love of flipping Christ, they gave something that's literally just an X or a plus, depending on how you have it. And they gave it so much, like, abilities for it to be an X and it to be just binarily useless. And apparently this was morally just to follow through a plot of how they had the story, so that's the only reason why this alien existed. Either way, again, it's part of the power system, so I had to use it. Just want to show you all these abilities, and I'll tell you guys what I'm adding onto the character as soon as I show you it. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Say hello to D-Connect X. D-Connect X is actually, he has a very sad backstory, so actually I'm glad I'm doing a full video for him. D-Connect X is all about the fact that he technically is pretty innocent, but the fact is that he was touching unnecessary blocks. Blocks because his dad is sort of a toy inventor. And so he was building equipped toys that could build from your mind. But it was in the testing phase, and he was a little kid when he grabbed it and was using it. When the blast hit, his body shook and turned into pure energy, putting him in technology. Disappearing for a long time, him being like in technology. his computer went in, and so his father, who lived in, X Corp. If you guys don't know, X Corp is part of my. It's like a super villain place that technically was a villain for this one thing, and now we're trying to turn it for good. So yeah, basically, he worked there, so he took all of his tech, what of his son was in that computer, and basically tried to do some form of finding his son who disappeared. Never gave up. Either way, he was in there for so many years and he blamed a lot of people, including his own father. And then he had enough time to think about it and realized that his father is not really to blame for his stupidity. And also for him touching shit. So this leads up to him actually like learning and trying to just at least seek help. And when we're reforming technology, and this is where we find that a lot of people were being in prison, being used as, teaching them how to use their power for illegal stuff, just in case people got in their way and they escaped. That's how we found him. Obviously, his physical body is no more. It's gone. It's basically all electrical data. But he was able to build himself, and they taught him how to build himself out of technology. Now he's able to disconnect his body and reform it into other things, and also grab things and basically connect them, reconnect them, and build them into something. That means he can also leave his body to go into other electronic things. The only thing that he cannot do is that he cannot live as pure energy. If he tries, he will die. Slowly, but he will die. He needs some form of a technological physical body to sustain him. Even if it's something like a 90s phone. So, yeah. Alright, snap from the other hand. Either way, that's the story of Deconnect X.